answered on my phone instead of my.
Okay, this is what I'm gonna do because we're live right now, brother Muhammad. So let me send you another link.
Okay.
All right. Let me just go ahead and do that, and I'm gonna let everybody out there know what's going on right now.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, everybody. I'm going to be bringing Brother Maurice Muhammad back in. We have a situation with Sister Melissa. She's not feeling very well today. She has lupus. But Brother Muhammad, I have to send him another link. He's going to come on and he's going to talk to you about his connection to the family. We're going to have to, unfortunately, reschedule this for another date. I was really hoping that we could do this today because we have put out a lot of information to folks to come over and support what we're doing. So let me go ahead and get back, and let me send Brother Muhammad this link to get back on here with me. And here we go. Boom. He was using his phone. I think he wants to go on his computer. So basically, her husband called. She called and she said that she's not feeling well. She does suffer with lupus. And Brother Maurice Muhammad is going to come back on and explain to everybody what's going on. And here is Brother Maurice Muhammad right now, who's just come on. Feeling well. She does suffer with lupus. And okay, so Brother Maurice Muhammad is with us. He has a connection with the family, and he's going to explain to everybody, the family, exactly what's going on, his connection to the family, because we are going to do this again. Once again, I want to apologize to everybody out there that have rallied around YouTube, letting people know about this stream today. We were looking forward to Sister Melissa coming on and speaking about her son, Danye Jones, and the tragedy that's happened. I'm going to probably go over some notes that I have, questions that I have for the sister. But Brother Maurice Muhammad, brother, you have anything to say to the people? I'm glad to have you back on here.
Yes, sir. Thank you, beloved. Thank you for having us back on. Yes, so I was talking to our sister's husband, and he gave me the health update for our sister that she is not feeling well. She suffers from a medical condition. And, added stress onto that makes it even worse. So we're going to have to reschedule her to come back on. She's definitely looking forward to being on. It's just the stress and her medical condition is she's not doing well. She's not doing well. But, that was a week ago, was it, wife? It was Christmas Day.
Yes.
Me and my wife went over there, and we spent 2 hours with her and her family, talking about the incident and making sure that we got a clear understanding of what's going on and how, she desires to fight for justice for her son. We all understand that, number one, justice is not a diplomatic language.
Yes.
And, we communicated that very clearly. Sister Melissa is not the type of sister that believes in looking at the enemy and say, I forgive you. She's not that type of sister. She's not the type of sister that believes in laying down and letting things just happen. She's a very proactive sister that understands that, in order for us to get justice, then we're going to have to take it. So she's very on point when it comes to that. And as she said, this black does not run. So she is very, on the front, spending that 2 hours with her and listening to what had happened and, my wife consoling her. and dealing with, you know, meeting the other family members, her other son and grandson. And then knowing that the enemy, even after they did all of that, what they did, they restarted all over again with, you know, the enemy down there in vans watching the house and dealing with the power, getting the power cut off, and you know, using psychological tricks to weaken them, you know, to make them afraid to stop fighting for what is right. You know, anytime that you have a crime that has happened, like what has happened to Danye, and then they come out there and they laugh, you know, that psychological warfare that they're playing, that they're using against our sister. And so we have to stand with her. We have to stand with the family and letting them know, as well as the enemy know, that, you know, we're not running away. You know, we will run to her. We will never run from her. And this is the charge that we are in this time. So we have to make sure that we stand up for what is right and that we do what is right. So in this campaign that we named Justice for Danye equals life for us. Because if we lay down and don't do what needs to be done, only thing that we're doing is making the crosshairs on the rest of us bigger, because we continue to give the enemy license to go out and do unspeakable things. I mean, you think about it. This is the first hanging in the recent time that it has been so that they hang him in his own backyard. You know, that normally when they hang you away from the house. But this time they hung him right there at the house. And if we look at the other brother in Mississippi that had his head cut off last year and body burnt, you know, these people send signs and they let us know that they're not afraid, but we have not answered those signs in the proper way. We've answered those signs with marching and begging, but that doesn't make anything go away. That makes it worse because we don't speak the proper language that these people speak. And so we are of the understanding that we have to start speaking that proper language. And when that language is spoken and they understand that we know how to speak it just as well as they do, then situations and everything will definitely change.
Yes, yes. But I wanted to say something. Where I work, the kind of work I do, I have actually had a chance to see what it looks like when a person attempts to hang themselves and when a person successfully hangs themselves. One of the things that were very glaring to me, Brother Muhammad, when I was doing my research on this case, listening to the sister speak about her son, is that she's talked about there being a brick that she found, I believe, in his room or somewhere of that nature. She talked about there being a chair that was far away from the tree. And then the way his clothing and everything was happening. Now, the last time I checked, if you're going to hang yourself, how could you get yourself up on the tree, fashion a rope or a sheet, which, by the way, the sheet didn't even come from his own home, and then you fashion this sheet into Navy knots, which, by all accounts, by Sister Melissa, she says, my son doesn't have any military training or Boy Scout training. And by all accounts, the chair was found away, which looks as if someone orchestrated this whole thing. Because if you were to do that to yourself, well, how do you get up to be able to do it? You would stand on something, and that something would be near you. And I've seen plenty of guys in the prison environment that I've dealt with who, by the way, do various things. That you can see the evidence with how they hung themselves. It's very clear. One of the things that are glaring to me, and I wanted to bring up to her or ask her, is the fact that they came to a determination that ideation that he a thought or a belief system that he committed suicide without there being any coroner's report or coroner's examination prior to making such statements. And then the thought about them laughing and underestimating the family really pisses my ass off. And let me bring out I got some statistics here based on my own experience, but let me just say this for everybody. I'm going to bring this up again when we get a chance to get the sister on. These are statistics as it relates to suicide rates by race. Mm-hmm. So suicide rates by race, white people engage in suicide at the tune of 15.17%, while American Indians, Alaskans, natives, as they say, engage in suicide behavior of this nature at the tune of 13.37%, while Asians and Pacific Islanders are at 6.62% at the lowest end, and Black people, African Americans, whatever we want to call ourselves, we are around 6.03%. We are the lowest on the totem pole as it relates to engaging in suicidal behavior. Even in the prison system, where I've had a chance to, I work directly with brothers that are incarcerated. The majority of the individuals that I see engaging in suicidal behavior, I mean serious suicidal behavior, tend to be Caucasian and otherwise. Okay, that's just been my experience over 17 years in the system, working in mental health, trying to help those that are incarcerated. And they say overall, girls attempt suicide at 11.6%, while boys are at 5.5% in terms of youth. By all accounts, Danye was a young man striving to make it in the real estate game. So he was in real estate. He was about business. His mother even said that she's had conversations with him about suicide. He said, I would never do anything like that. I love my people. I want to do work in Africa. I have so many things. So these are some of the statements and questions that I had for the sister, but I'm going to reserve the rest of my statements and questions for when we get the sister on. But I just wanted to throw this out, put this out there to you, brother Gab, and those that are listening who came over to support this today, that we are going to get Sister Melissa back on. She's got a medical condition, lupus. She's not feeling well. The husband spoke to Brother Maurice Muhammad here. They apologize for not being here. I know that we've been promoting this heavily. We've been asking the family to come over, but I think it would not be too much to ask y'all to give us another shot at this again and come over in Raleigh, as you have rallied over here right now with 123 people watching. I'm sure that we can rally people back over. I want to apologize once again because I know a lot of you, from what I've been hearing, were looking forward to hearing this sister speak live and direct to us. And I just want to tell you that we're going to do this again with the help. I'm going to keep this 100% real. It was Brother Maurice Muhammad who made this possible when he came to me along with Brother Gab and said that we want you to interview this sister. So well, I'm going to lay it on the line here and say that we're going to get the sister back on. We're going to respect her health issues, and keep in mind the sister has lost a beautiful 24-year-old young king who was on to doing great things, who was breaking away from people that were doing the wrong stuff. She said that he had a few people hating on him, and she believes that it could be an inside job with someone who lured him outside that night. But we're going to get her back on. I want you all to keep the same enthusiasm as you're keeping in the chat room right now and come on back. Brother Gab, do you have any words? Or Brother Maurice Muhammad, do you have any other words you want to add? Brother Gab, come on in.
Yes, sir. I want to take time and thank Brother Maurice, man, for his, I'm getting a lot of echo. Oh, okay. I wanted to thank Brother Maurice Muhammad, man, for doing the legwork on this. Yes. Very impressive for somebody to actually get up and sometimes you just got to get up and do it. Is how I see it, and the brother is proving it. If I'm not mistaken, I've seen him do this before on some other issues, and it's proven to me that there's a lot of power within individuals who have the will to get up and make something happen. you'll be pretty surprised at what you can do, at what we could do collectively. I appreciate him helping us to galvanize, to kind of come together as a collective on social media to kind of do this kind of thing, man. Info, you was to me the perfect place to be with the kind of work that you do, to know something about hangings. I'm just, you know, kind of overwhelmed by it all. I'm sorry that the sister couldn't make it today, but I'm sure we'll make it happen again. I apologize that I'm not sitting down at my desk. Something came up that I kind of did not expect.
Understandable.
Yeah, I didn't expect it. So I'm not going to hang on the line and kind of mess it up while I'm not be listening.
Brother,
if I drop off, it's because I'm in a bad space.
I'm in a. Thank you, brother. Let me just say this. I've been, for the last few days, I've been taking in interviews, listening to the sister speak, various interviews and various material, and I've been listening to other people who did stories about this on YouTube, and I've been ingratiating myself into what's going on with the sister. And I'm telling you right now, it's hard for me right now to keep my emotions together. I said the other day that we as Black men have to stay strong for our women when they are going through these emotions. They don't need us falling apart. They need us to stand up and be strong for them. But I'm telling you, I'm feeling emotional because I've had a chance to look at this and then see what's also blowing my mind is that you have other individuals. You have Brother Crawford. You've got Brother Darren Seals, who was burned up in a car and shot up. And Brother Crawford, these are individuals who were in it, not pretending to be activists. They were in it. And one of the things that we have to always keep in mind is that there's two things. We're either in something for a moment or it's either a movement. And if you're going to be in something for a movement, it requires sacrifice. These brothers gave ultimate sacrifice that was against, that was terrorism upon them. Okay, so here we have a situation where you have activists that were involved in the situation in Ferguson with Mike Brown that are mysteriously ending up dead. There's something going on in that area. There's something run amok that does not smell kosher. And then prior, I think the sister said prior to what happened to her son, she said that she noticed that there were white men buzzing around the neighborhood, watching them. Something's going on. Brother Ben X, I talked to him today. I'm going to send him a link. He said that he will try to come on. So while we are on, I'm going to send a link out to Brother Ben X. I did send out a link to Brother Yorima Karama. This is a brother that's an activist as well that I had the pleasures of interviewing. He spent time in prison. He talks about the ills of the prison system. This is a brother that goes around the country giving speaking. He has been involved in a program he runs called Unity Walks. He said he wants to come out to the Bay Area, the Oakland area, and I told him that I will be there to be a keynote, to be a speaker in that, to be involved in that, to be a speaker and support him. I sent him out a link. He's actually traveling right now. So if he's able to come on, I hope that the brother can come on. So what I'm going to do right now, we have Brother Art that's just come on board. Before I go to Brother Art, if Brother Maurice Muhammad has anything else that he wants to say to the people, go right ahead, brother, while I go ahead and try to bring a few other brothers on board with us, because even though we don't have Sister Melissa with us, I think I'm just going to let this stream run where people can come on and give their thoughts until such time this week or whenever she's available for us to get her on live and let her speak her truth, what is truth, and how she feels. So while I'm doing that, any brothers who want to say anything, go right ahead. I'm going to try to see if I can send some links out to a few people. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, beloved. One thing that I definitely do want to make sure that we understand, it's I think it was wife. That was the other day we did a live and we showed the grandmother of Ayanna Jones. And at this one, this was during the trial, and the grandmother was speaking and she broke down crying. And she was saying about, you know, that she can't sleep at night and the dreams, and that she's really sick. You know, she's sick on the inside, causing physical sickness. And she was saying that, you know, she wouldn't wish that on anybody, not even the murderer of her daughter, of her granddaughter. And we have to realize that when the enemy kills one of our children, you know, that is a great emotional pressure that's placed on the parents. And being with Sister Melissa, you can see that very clearly. And so it's incumbent upon us that we rally and show her love, that she knows that she's not by herself. When she called the wife the other day and explained to my wife that they have started back again with the monitoring of their home and cutting the power off to their home. So the psychological warfare is starting over again because she is not laying down. So they started the first time and they ended with killing her son. Now they're restarting it over again because she refused to lay down. So we have to make sure that we respond appropriately. And so people that are out in the St. Louis area, you know, we need to get together and hook up so that we can perform security over there at the house, because the enemy has to understand that she has an army that you can see and she has an army that you can't see, so that we will know and they will know that we will not fail to respond when responding is called for. We are only going to be free when we make ourselves free. They don't have the will to do anything for us in the way of good. And we can look at that just by looking at our history. You don't have to go back to the 40s, 50s, or 60s. You can look at our history in the 21st century, and you can see the many murders that have been taking place by this enemy against us, and no one has been held accountable in a real and meaningful way. So that lets us know that we are the ones that have to hold these people accountable. You know, Malcolm X said at one point, he said, when a snake bites your child and the snake slithers away, you going out looking for the snake, you don't necessarily need to see the snake with the blood. You just need to see the snake and you deal with the snake. And so we got to be able to understand, you know, when situations like that, you just grab any old snake that you find and you deal with the snake. We got to ask ourselves a very simple question. Who are you good for? What are you good for? Are you good for the development of our people, or are you good for the enemy? Who are you good for? What will you stand for? Will you stand for right and justice, or will you punk out and go run and do the bidding of our enemy? Who are you and what are you? See, this is the time now that we got to get right what those who came before us got wrong. They were splintered and divided. This time we have to be united and on point, because the longer we say we stay disunited, the longer the killings of our people will continue to happen. So it was Danye yesterday. It may be you or I today or tomorrow. This is the reality that we got to deal with, that there will be a next person. The longer we stay disunited, more killings will come, because we have not found the right answer to stop the killings. The right answer to stop the killings is not more marching, is not more begging, is not more pleading. That ain't gonna stop the killings. What's gonna stop the killings is when we're fed up and we say, now, you will die, your blood will flow, and we will go and make it so. That is what will stop the killings. When we're man and woman enough to do what needs to be done, that's going to stop it. And only that we have seen from every court system, even the Supreme Court, say that these police officers are justified in what they do. They're justified. Hell, we've even seen where Rodney King comes out and say, can't we just get along? Hell no, we can't get along. Satan and God can never get along. Never. Even if you have cats and dogs and you raise them together, but when their nature takes over, the dog goes after the cat.
Yes.
So as we see, there is no living in peace with these devils. There is none. We have to fight, because you're fighting just not for your life, but you're fighting for the lives of our people, and our brothers and sisters that are not yet born. Because we got to send the enemy a message. And that message is, we will stand together, united, and we will not beg you for any damn thing. We will take justice, because justice is ours for the taking.
That's right. That's right.
So, and with that, I'll rest my mic and let the brothers speak.
Very powerful, and I totally agree with you. Let me just say this. I have a video that I'm going to have to re-release again, because there was some foolish, some weird stuff some bizarre stuff that was going on. I once interviewed a sister that I went to college with, and I have the video. I'm going to probably re-release it again, who worked as a dispatcher, and I'll show you where I'm going with this, a dispatcher for the San Francisco police. She ended up having to quit and leave, and we got my man, coming in right now. Let me see. That is my man Urema. Let me bring him in right now. Let me answer this. Right now. He's coming in through another brother. Brother, how you doing? I think I sent you a link to come on the panel over here, but I got you on a separate computer, brother. But that's okay. I got you. You can speak, and everybody can hear what you have to say.
Oh, peace, family. I'm sorry. I didn't. The one link I got, it sent me. I was on the feed. I've been listening in.
Okay.
So, but I just appreciate you having me on. Let me be brief, because we are driving to a Unity Walk in New York for tomorrow. Information man, love you, brother.
Love you too.
Brothers that are on this panel that are speaking truth to power. The brother that just got off, my sentiments exactly. What we do with our organization, Unity Walk, is it's time for Black communities to come together. I have in the past, I've even called out leaders.
Oh, come on.
And if you were really about, we're all in the same industry, so to speak, and that's Black empowerment, Black upliftment, Black unification, Black group economics, collective group economics and responsibility. If we're all in this same arena, then why aren't we connecting to show the people on ground level that, hey, we're serious about our empowerment, we're serious about our unification? How many more brothers and sisters and Black children have to be respected, have to lose their lives, have to be murdered, have to have their bodies cut open and their organs stolen out of them, have vaccines shot into them and cause autism? How many more Black women have to be denied pain medication because there's a psychosis, a white mentality. Women can accept more pain than any other group of women because they experimented on black women with no anesthesia, and that psychosis still lingers in the mind of Europeans. How many more people do we have to lose before we actually get it? And the brother that just spoke before me, he was right on point. Yeah. The marching is not going to get it. I'm sorry, we didn't march. We didn't more souls off the heels, off the bottom of some tennis shoes and boots marching. That's not proven to be effective.
Exactly.
So we have to start doing what's effective. If J. Edgar Hoover said that the greatest threat to the United States security is the unification of the Negro, this is what he said. I didn't say this.
Yes, sir.
J. Edgar Hoover, head of the FBI, the guy they still use his policies today. If he said that the greatest threat to U.S. security is the unification of black people in this country, and that's one of the only things that we haven't tried. We didn't try going to college.
Yes.
We didn't try being boule.
Yes.
We didn't try going into their institutions. We speak, in most cases, we speak English better than they do now.
Yes.
We didn't try working in their corporations. Brothers and sisters didn't try the bootlicking. They didn't try smiling and kissing Master's ass. None of that work. We should do a cage. That is how
okay. You're starting to morph a little bit, brother. Okay, now it's coming out better.
It's you know, we're going to continue going through this. There's going to be more hangings. There's going to be more lynchings.
Yes.
And I want to send out a condolences, power, and energy from the ancestors to this sister, who lost her son. I want to get ready to get off here because I don't want to be cutting in and out. Okay. I don't want to waste brothers and sisters' time. But I want to send out power and energy to that sister.
Well, brother, just so you know, if you didn't hear, she has lupus and her husband called. She's not feeling well. She's very stressed out for obvious reasons. And we're going to try to get her on at a later time. Brother Maurice Muhammad, who made this possible today, has a connection to the family. We're going to get her on where she's on live. And brother, with all my heart, I got to have you on the panel live in effect when it goes down, or at least try. I know you're very busy. You travel around the country. You're very active, but I want to thank you, brother. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, brother. And you know, this is information. This is the least we can do. This is nothing. This is I wish I wasn't on the road like I was parked right now. This is the least we can do. In this time right now, that's just so much.
Morphing a little bit, brother. It's I think you're freezing. Your sound's freezing. Okay. Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, that was Brother Karima, and his sound is freezing. He's on the road traveling, as you heard him say. He's getting ready to do a unity walk. Is he still on? Oh, okay. So everybody definitely needs to check out that brother's channel. When we bring Sister Melissa on live and we make an attempt at this again, we're definitely going to have this brother live in effect on our screen right here for you. But you heard his audio. He's driving. He's getting ready to do a unity walk, and there's some technical issues going on right now. So let me just come out of that call, because I know the brother was morphing a little bit as he was speaking, but we got the gist of what Brother Urema was talking about. Brother Maurice Muhammad, you have any thoughts to what Brother Urema was saying? This is a brother who was incarcerated for many years. He speaks upon the industrial complex of the prison system. He speaks he talks about social issues. He speaks out and exposes the enemy for what they are. He is not afraid to speak truth to power. I was blessed to be able to interview him some time back. And what are your thoughts on that, brother, or what you heard so far?
Yes, sir, brother. I'm definitely in agreement with everything that our brother has said. It needs to happen. It really needs to happen. And we have to understand that, as you said, unity is the key, because we have to be a unified force in order to defeat a unified force. We can't be half tagging and slow dragging. We have to be, quick, fast, right down to the modern time. And we have to be unified, because it's going to take a unified approach. And I know I was speaking a little earlier in our personal chat box and saying that, because I watched your video you did last night. And in there you were talking about unity and moving into next year, hoping to have a unified front. Well, this is something that we can do. We can do this. We can have a unified front. Our people, as we can see, want us to be a unified front. They want us to be. Yes. So if they want us to be, and we say we want to be a unified front, then damn it, we can do it. So what needs to happen is, as I said before, we need to do and you bring all of us into a room. We come, we have the radical sister, we have myself, we have Cynthia G, we have Nyla Says, we have Gab Talk Yourself. We pull all of us into the room. Yes. And we have a conversation, and we don't leave the room until we come out with one voice, with one aim, with one objective. This we can do.
Yes, we can.
We can do it. There's nothing stopping us from doing this. If this is what it's called for, we got to get it done.
Well, I will tell you, brother, that if we were to do this, it will definitely separate the pretenders from the real, because the people who are on YouTube, who really want to build up their people, who want to educate our people, who want unity amongst our people, those individuals would be for this. Let me see who's calling in here right now. But those who would be not with this, you will see them. You will know who your enemies are. You will purge the phonies from the balonies. So, okay, from the phonies to the real. I mean, So, I think that we should try that. We're going into 2019. I think we should make an attempt to see what we can do to squash some of the stuff that's going on in Black YouTube that has not been positive for us. And also, it destroys our channels. When we wonder why our channels don't grow and we get our channel snatched away, is because of these sort of things. Not to mention, brother, I have to give a plug for him. Check out brother Malcolm Fletch TV, who is very much connected with brother Ben X. He did a masterful lesson in teaching on his channel the other night ago or two, where he talked about why our channels get flagged, how the enemy is recruiting people at the college level, how the enemy manipulates Wikipedia, how they have people that go in and edit material. If you talk very unkindly towards, the J word, they will flag your material. You've got Google representatives that are in bid with the J, okay? And so he's talking about how they're attacking us on all front by changing the narrative of what people are saying when they use social media. And he had the receipts. He broke it down. It was very masterful. So if brother Malcolm Fletch TV is in the chat room or out there listening, brother, I support you. Going to be interviewing you very soon, but check out his channel, folks. Looks like Gav had to get off because he's out and about right now. Any other words you want to say to the people before we? I'm probably going to stay on and maybe bring a few folks in and continue speaking upon this issue. Oh, that's why I wanted to say that story. That's what it was. Let me finish this. That's right. Let me backtrack myself. So a young lady that I went to school with was a 911 dispatcher. And they were doing a study in the Bay Area in San Francisco to show our police profiling certain groups of people, us, Black people. And when they were doing this, they're supposed to report to the dispatchers certain type of information, such as how often they stop someone that's black, certain data related to race. And the police were not giving her the particular codes that they're supposed to give her. Then a lot of people don't know this. And some police departments, they have tracking systems in the police cars. So they can track where these police are. So if a police officer stops you, they should be able to, they can identify where that police was on that day when they stopped you. She was telling me that a lot of these police officers in the Bay Area in San Francisco, they were somehow jacking or turning off the frequencies in their police cars so that they cannot be tracked for where they are. And I know for a fact, when I did some work in the Sunnydale housing project area of San Francisco, a long time ago when I was in college, we had a tutorial program there. A lot of the police would go and harass brothers that were just coming out of prison, take them up to the backwoods, up to the park, beat on them, mistreat them, and then plant drugs on them. Then in Oakland, California, you had the riders that were driving around, harassing and focusing on black young men that were fresh out of college, once again planting drugs on them, beating them up, and harassing the community. And nobody believed us until years later. 7 of these guys in Oakland, California were arrested. They were a crooked bunch of cops. What I'm saying to you right now is that as a dispatcher, dispatchers do not tell you when you find a body, as they told Sister Melissa, the dispatcher, she said, take the body down. You don't do that, because by doing that, you already ruined the crime scene. You change things. So the dispatcher should have never told them that. Now, the sister that I interviewed and talked to, she quit the force because she found out that they were lying, that the police were orchestrating lies. They were harassing people, and they had her promoting this lie. And every time she would ask them for the code numbers and various things, they would not give it to her. So she found out after a year that she was in the belly of the devil, and she got out of it. Well, guess what? She moved, and guess what? Talk about what happened to this young man. She was getting death threats. Okay. She believed that the police have a network, not only here, but have a network all across the country with other police where they can talk to other police officers and say, hey, this person right here is no good. Harass them. So she said that she has had fear for her life. She has had some harassment. So what they were doing is they were manipulating the equipment in their cars when they were harassing black people. So what I know is that dispatcher telling them to do that was not professional, and it goes out of the scope of their profession. That is for the CSIs to come in, the crime science investigators to come in. They need everything intact. So everything about this case, everything about this situation smells of garbage. Who is this that's trying to come in now? Someone's trying to call in now. Let me see what's going on here. Sound like someone was trying to call in. I don't know who that was, but with what I said, brother, does any of that resonate with you in terms of the tricknology that they play? Brother Maurice Muhammad?
Yes, sir.
Does any of that resonate with you in terms of the tricks that they play?
Most definitely. That's what they do. You know, and they cover up, they try to cover up their tracks so that they don't get caught. And that's why it's important. You know, we can look at there have been a lot of black police officers who have found out what was going on and then also, you know, tried to drop the dime. And then either one of them, I interviewed a sister, she was a police officer, and she got to the scene and a white police officer was beating up the brother. And, you know, she got it to calm down, had him come outside. She go outside, the white cop is beating up the brother outside.
Wow.
So she comes over to stop him from beating the brother, and he starts beating her up. So she gets arrested. When the other police come, they arrest her and charge her with a crime. And so now she's out driving trucks. You know, this system that they have that they protect one another at our expense. And we have to be strong enough to say, no, that doesn't go. And they'll fall back to their tricks of, you know, I'm going to send these death threats because that's what they do. But we gotta be aware that that's what's going to happen, and we be ready to provide security, and we be ready to respond, because it's going to come down to a fight. Ain't no ifs, ands, and ends about it. It's going to come down to a fight, and God damn it, I'm ready to fight. Let's just fight. Let's get it on. Let's get it done with, so we can see who's going to last. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it.
Now, Brother Maurice, she had Sister Maurice, Melissa, I'm sorry, there was some feedback I was hearing. Sister Melissa has a GoFundMe, and I did put that in the description of this video. And I know she stated that they may have to move and leave there because it's getting really hot for them in that belly of the beast there. What is can you tell us from your if you have any information, where are they at in terms of in a position of being able to leave that area that they're in where they're being harassed? Do you have any information on that possibly?
Like what exactly? What?
Are they in a situation currently right now where they're preparing to leave where they live? I know she mentioned in an interview that I was listening to, as it relates to the GoFundMe, that they may have to leave the home that they're living in currently, or are they just standing, or are they going to stand their ground there?
Yeah, right now everybody's standing ground.
Okay.
Everybody's standing ground.
Okay.
So, you know, if we can get the things that's appropriately needed, then they will be okay.
Okay, good.
They will be okay.
I'm going to go over to Brother Prophet of Thought series and let him speak, and then I'm going to hit over to Brother Art, who's come on. Brother X, Prophet of Thought series, brother. Everybody check his channel out. Brother, how are you doing today? Unfortunately, Sister Melissa was not feeling well. She suffers with lupus, and she let Brother Maurice Muhammad know that she couldn't make it. Her husband reached out, and we're going to have to reschedule her to be on live at another date. We were really looking forward to her being here, but as we know, the sister is going through a lot of stress, very obvious to the fact that she has lost a king, a 24-year-old young man who they found on October 17th in their yard hanging with a cheer being far away from him, which looks like foul play. Brother X, what are your thoughts?
Well, first piece, Brother Info, Brother Art, Brother Muhammad. I love Brother Muhammad, man. I love his passion, man. I love this brother, man. Unfortunately, you know, once again, we're sending our condolences out to another mother. My condolences go out to Lady Melissa, but all of you who follow the Prophet of Thought series, you know this kind of stuff is in our wheelhouse. I mean, we've had everybody on our show from Monteria Robinson, whose son Jamarion Robinson was shot 59 times out there in Georgia, all the way down to Miss Gina Bess, whose daughter India Kaga was killed in Virginia Beach. Even down here where I am in the Queen City, I covered rallies for Jonathan Farrell, who was killed by the Queen City Police, and also Janisha Fonville, right here in the Queen City, who was murdered by the Queen City Police. So I mean, it seems like every time we turn around, one of these things have happened. Every time we turn around, some young black person is killed, and it often seems like nothing ever gets done. There's a lot of smoke grenades thrown at us when we seek answers. There's a lot of roadblocks put in front of us when we try to find the truth. At this point, I believe that it's a system set up to not only intentionally make this stuff happen, but intentionally cover it up. Now, what we have to ask ourselves now is, what are we going to do about it? Like Brother Muhammad just finished saying, I mean, are we going to continue to let it go on? Because if we do, and I hate to say this, you know there will be more. if we do not do anything, there will be more. That's just a fact. And like I said, I mean, I've had many mothers on my show crying and seeking justice for their children who have been murdered just indiscriminately with impunity. They've been murdered, impunity, and there are no answers. There are no charges. No one's being brought to account. No one's indicted. No one's arrested, and they just kind of take the case and just kind of shovel it under the rug. And after they shovel it under the rug, they make sure they bulldoze the house so we can't even investigate what's under the rug. So we have to ask ourselves, man, what are we doing to not only protect these young folks who find themselves murdered by white folks, but what are we going to do proactively to stop the shit from happening? Those are the questions, and we need some answers, and we need brothers like Brother Muhammad out there, you know, speaking truth to power. We need people like this brother. I just got word today, as a matter of fact, from Miss Robinson, that they're finally going to be making some headway in her son's case. He was murdered in 2016, and the district attorney, who is a brother, has decided to file suit against the Department of Justice because the Department of Justice is holding back evidence in Brother Jamarion's case. So now he's filing suit against the Department of Justice to try to get this case rolling. So, I mean, there is some headway in that particular case, but unfortunately, that's the only case that has moved somewhat forward. So, I mean, I'm tired of doing these stories. I'm tired of having mothers come on my show crying about their children, man. I'm just so tired of it, man. I'm at my wit's end, you know, because I can't imagine what they're going through. I can't imagine, you know, these brothers and sisters are mothers and fathers and sons and daughters and husbands and wives, and, you know, for their lives to just be taken, man, as if they were nothing, man, you know, has to bear the question of what do they think of us? But that's a question that answers itself. They don't think of us at all, brother.
Yeah. Let me just say this to those out there listening that would say, well, the mother was an activist, a known activist who organized a lot of the shutdowns in Ferguson. She was involved in a lot in organizing a lot of effective protests. And she said her son a lot of times would come along with her in these protests. There's some out there that would say, and I want to ask you, brothers, what would you say to these folks that would say, well, the reason why this happened to him and the reason why the sister is suffering is because she's protesting. You shouldn't be out there protesting. You should just get along to get along. You know, you shouldn't be out there taking chances. But at the end of the day, what are your thoughts on that? Because should we as a people just try to stay safe and stay away from protesting and speaking out? Should we just be the passive Negroes? Because guess what? We had a black man who took a more passive, non-violent role in Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who said he loved people. He was a preacher. He preached love. He didn't preach hate. He said, let's have non-violent movements, and our non-violence will make them see that their humanity, the way they're going, is wrong. Well, history has shown us that even when black people do things peacefully, we follow the system. Just like Brother Urema, who came on and spoke to us through the audio, he said, we've tried to go corporate. We've gone to school. We've gone to church. We've done everything. We put on penny loafer shoes. We put on a suit. We do everything. We talk the King's English, you know, thy and thou, and yes, sir, and no, ma'am. We've done everything in this society. Historically, black men historically have participated in every war that this country has had. We have, and only to come back home from war to get attacked. That's how a lot of riots happen in this country, because they didn't like seeing black men in those uniforms. And black men said, oh, hell no, I'm not going to take that. So we've done everything. We've shucked and jived. We've grinned. We've done everything, and we still have been treated unjustly in this society. So this is what I have to say for those that would criticize and say, oh, you shouldn't be getting out there protesting. That's what happens when you do that. Well, do you want to live like a slave? Do you want to live like in fear all your life? Or do you take a stand? Because none of us, this place where I live right now, I would not have any of this deaths. I wouldn't be able to talk to you if it was not for the sacrifices of the ancestors that came before me. If they did not take a chance to stand up, we could all be in 2018 in physical shackles, even though we are still in mental shackles. But that's another story. Any other thoughts, Brother Art's on? I haven't given him a chance to speak. Brother Art, you have anything you want to say? And I definitely want Brother X to speak to what I said, though, too. But Brother Art, come on, give us some wisdom, brother.
Yeah, assalamu alaikum to the family. Shalom, hotep, peace to everyone. Peace to Brother X, Muhammad, and of course you, Dr. Information Man. Yeah, I don't have much time because I'm going to be driving in a very bad area where the reception's going to be real bad. It might even cut me off in the middle of what I'm saying.
Yes.
But mainly, yeah, the thing is that we have to create some kind of support system that our brothers know where to go when danger is approaching. Sometimes while I'm teaching, I do have some of the questionable ankle bracelet, troubled brothers that take my class, and sometimes when they're absent, they return, and I tell them, I said, next time you're absent, just stick your head in, even if you're ditching, just stick your head in and let me know you're okay. I know you probably don't want to come to class, but I just want to know you're okay. When they know that, they know to start coming to me and let me know what's going down, what's on their mind, stuff like that. Sometimes you just have to let the brothers know that you care. I mean, you ain't being soft or nothing. You just letting the brothers know that, hey, this is me. If whatever you need, just let me know. I mean, I can't sit there and do a ramble for you, but I can definitely jump in and make sure that you're safe. And I think that's the thing. That's the message that a lot of these young brothers have to know, is that as long as you got the older brothers around there, we just want you to be safe. Because I have a feeling that a lot of these brothers that go through this kind of stuff, they don't know where to go. They're by themselves, fighting by themselves at that particular time, because these cowards wait for them to be alone anyway. Just like they wait for these sisters to be alone. Most of the time when you got these little videos or whatever, most of the time these sisters don't have any brothers around. And probably the brother that's around that's filming and giggling, he ain't no real man in the first place. So that's just something I really want to add, is that, if you can just really just create some kind of pathway for them to know where to come to, because they don't have all the answers. We don't have all the answers too, but we got more answers than they do. So I give my heart out to the sister out there that lost her son, because I've been to many funerals with the same situation. And I mean, but I know it's a cliche, but we all we got. We all we got. So I'm surprised I'm still on the air, because I haven't get cut off yet. Anyhow, I'll just cut it short, because I know I'm going into a real crazy area right now. So if I get cut off, then my heart is with everyone. Y'all take care.
Thank you. That was Brother Art that came on with us. He's in an area where there's bad reception. He may get cut off. But Brother X, you heard my diatribe not too long ago, what I was saying or stating. What are your thoughts about a little bit of what I was saying? Because there are going to be those that are going to criticize. I know there's those that may say, oh, she's a single mother. Well, she said earlier in an interview that I watched that she did raise 3 kids, her 2 sons and her daughter. She's currently married, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, she is, because the husband contacted Brother Maurice Muhammad and told him what was going on with her health and her emotions right now. So this is a sister who, by all accounts, she's raised 3 beautiful children, a son who, if I'm not mistaken, he was in the business of he was in real estate. This young man was on the upswing of his life. And she did make mention that there were people that were trying to hate on him making up rumors about him that he had to break away from. And she believes, if I'm not mistaken, that he had packed a backpack and went out the house, and she believes that someone in his inner circle or someone that he used to hang out with or someone that knows him might have lured him outside that home in that backyard, because we do know through history that they do often use people that look like us to betray us. So that's what I'll say right there, brothers.
Well, that wouldn't surprise me at all if they used, you know, someone, you know, the quote unquote Sambo, if you will, you know, to try to get him out the door. As far as you talking about the marching and the protesting, me personally, I don't have a problem with that. The only problem I have with that is I think we need to change the marching and protesting tactics. We often, when something like this takes place, we often march, protest, and set fires in our neighborhood. I suggest we take it to them instead of marching in those particular areas where these things took place. We need to find out where these people live, where these cops live, and march in their neighborhoods, crowd their streets, kick in their doors, turn over their cars. These are the things that I think should be done. And I've spoke about this before. Like I said, I know people get enraged, they get inflamed. There's a lot of emotions. And the first thing we want to do, we want to take to our streets. I say again, I think we need to take to theirs. Let them get tired of seeing us marching in their neighborhoods, on their promenades, in their main streets. That's when I think people will really take notice, because I don't think they care if we march in our streets, litter up our streets and start fires and barrels and stop traffic in our neighborhoods. I don't think they care about that at all. But when traffic gets stopped in their neighborhoods, when the police have to rally in their neighborhoods to protect them, that's when they will notice.
I see. And you know what, Brother X, you bring up an interesting concept, because you don't often see Black people wholesale, when we protest, going into the neighborhoods, which is the epicenter of our oppression. We tend to stay and circle around in our own neighborhoods, which that's what they tend to like us to do. For example, let's go back to the Rodney King incident. Remember South Central LA? Everybody was, things were burning, there was riots, there was looting, and you notice what they did? They brought in the National Guard and they neutralized them to the Black community. They did not allow them to get outside of that area, because the minute they thought that they were going to take it to the prominent areas of Los Angeles, you know what I'm talking about, they brought in the semi-military to keep them locked in. And I often wondered to myself over the years, when you study and you watch riots, I always wondered, what if Black people were to take these riots, I know it would happen, and take this protest, if that to the enemy, straight forward in their face. And that would be a powerful message, because we don't see that. We don't see it. We don't see it enough. And I think that we're living in a technological world today, tell me if I'm wrong or right, where the traditional tactics, or the old tactics of fighting against the enemy through the marching and protest, I don't really know how effective it is anymore. And this is no disrespect to Sister Melissa, who is an activist out there doing the damn thing, but I'm wondering if the actual marching on the ground has the same effect anymore, because one, we're not segregated anymore. We're all spread out, living in these various communities, whereas in years past, Black people were segregated, so we were all catching hell, no matter whether you were a Black entertainer, an athlete, doctor, what have you. Everybody was in the same bag. But now we have Black folks that are scattered about through all these different communities, some that are conservatives, make America great again type of Black folks. Then we got the pro-Black, and we got Black people who just want to stay out of the fray, and you got black folks that are completely Sambos and all those sort of things. We're so spread out. How effective is that type of protest? Do we need to attack it in a more psychological and technical level now than what we have been? What are your thoughts?
You know, brother, I'll jump in there on that. When we're looking at, let's just take, for instance, because I broke this down the other day. If we look at the police department in Detroit, okay, they only have 2,220 police officers in Detroit, okay? Our population is 471,845 in the city of Detroit. So, of course, we outnumber the police, not just in Detroit, but in any of these cities. We outnumber them. Mm-hmm. When you take up the jails, they have 3 detention centers in Detroit, a total combination of 2,881 beds for inmates to be in. And of course, we know about over population of the jails, but we always outnumber them. It's always, we always outnumber them. So we have to begin to do things in a more realistic way. When you're talking, as our brother just talked about with protesting, yes, because I've said it before, we need to go to the crackers' house. We need to go to their houses. We need to do what need to be done. We bop on them and disperse. Hit them and disperse. It's a military tactic that will work. But we have to begin to organize our minds in such a way that they understand it, and that our people understand it and are willing and ready to move. So we have to be organized. We have to organize this army, this military, in such a way that we take out, because you talked about earlier, the passive Negro. Mm-hmm. See, it's the passive Negroes that don't want this, because they are afraid of the enemy, and they are afraid that we will get the enemy angry. God damn it, we don't give a damn about the enemy. We want to kill the enemy, because that's what you should want to do when the enemy is after trying to kill you. So we got to be aware of the tactics, because some of our people take these devils because they be friendly. You know, you meet a devil and they, oh, yes, ma'am, and they talk to you kind of friendly. And then you make the mistake, well, not you personally, but our people make the mistake because a friendly devil talks friendly to you. Then we give them the title of, oh, that's a cool person. Mm-hmm. Well, they okay, they one of us. Mm-hmm. No, they're not. They were just being friendly to trick you. Yes. And they show it to you on TV every day. They show you officer friendly to get you mentally. Again, this is part of psychological warfare, to get you mentally, that when you run into the officer on the street, you think you're running into officer friendly when you run into officer predator, and you're not aware when they kill you, because you have been tricked by letting somebody be friendly, and you have mistaken and taken the enemy for your friend. So we got to remember, the devil has no humanity. He has no humanity.
I can speak.
So don't make the mistake of thinking that these devils will deal with us in a human way, in a friendly way, in a nice way, because that's foolishness. That will never happen. We have to understand, when you look at the enemy, and when they protested England, and they got up from a meeting and went to war with England. Mm-hmm. So we got to understand, when we get together and draw up what we believe and what our principles are, then we get up and go to war with the enemy to maintain our freedom, because no paper that the enemy wrote on gave us freedom. We were given freedom by our Creator, so it's incumbent upon us to protect what he has given us, not what the enemy has wrote on paper that they don't even respect themselves. It is on us. So when Sister Melissa went out to stand up for what's right, I liken that to her going to Calvary. Because at Calvary is where the suffering was. At Calvary is where the suffering began.
Yeah.
So now we got to watch and see. Do we let her stand there by herself, or do we pull her down from the grips of the enemy and tell the enemy, come get her now? Yes. That we got her. I dare you to come this way now and watch us give you what you have earned.
Yes, 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 yes. Let me say this, Brother Muhammad. I think a lot of us slept on I believe it was the FBI report that came out some years back. There was a report in which they said that a good majority of our institutions, particularly the police departments and the military, have been infiltrated by these hate groups. I can name them: the Ku Klux Klan type, the skinheads, the Nazi lowriders, the Aryan Brotherhood, these type of gangs, these white gangs. And now I can speak upon this very expert-like, because I actually am probably one of the few people on here that actually deal with these individuals one-to-one. I have had the opportunity to go into where their mindset is. And I can tell you firsthand, when I deal with these kind of individuals at work, and you read the records and the crimes that they've done and how they have hurt our people, and you see where their mentality is, you understand that I understand myself personally that they have no love for us. They are in it to win it. They want to destroy us at any cost. And these gang members that are members of these groups, these Nazi groups, these skinhead type groups, their goal is to annihilate us. They are concerned, as Sister Frances Crelson Welsing stated, they're concerned about their genetic survival. It is survival. Okay, you can use Freudism, whatever you want. That's what's going on here. And when I talk to them, they have an ideology in which they see us as an enemy. This is the problem. The problem is that we, as Black people, we do not have that ideology overall wholesale. We're too busy trying to get along. We're too busy trying to say, well, if I can love my enemy, if I could just give them love, and that comes out of the Christianity or the Bible indoctrination that we've had over the years as Black people, which teaches us to look at people as to love everyone. And if you look at if you go from the Bible, you look at, not to get so biblical here, but God didn't love everyone. Even the Bible has passages in it where God destroyed certain kingdoms, right? He told King Solomon to stay away from certain women, certain societies, and he didn't listen to God, and God cursed him. Okay, then you had Babylon, which we're living in a Babylon today. So even God, people who would say, well, no, it's got to be about loving everybody. No, even God didn't love everybody. He striked certain people down. If he had Noah build a ship to save all these various species, then that showed you that God didn't love everybody. He loved those that were with him, and he was willing to sacrifice those that were not. And I argue that when I'm talking to these individuals, their ideology is that they have love for their people first. They do not like us. Their goal is to annihilate us, while we as Black people, we keep tap dancing around. Well, if I can make them love me, if I can make America great again, if I can join the Republican Party or the Democratic Party, if I can go to the White House and I can sip wine, I can sip wine. I'll say wine, hell with it. Wine or coffee or tea with the president. Well, I'm doing great things. Like you saw all those Black folks who went up to Washington, D.C. with their Make America Great Again hats. And I've always say this: when the hell has America never been great for white folks? It's been a hell for Black folks historically through history. So I'm saying to myself, these Black folks are up there grinning and laughing, thinking they're making some big time accomplishments. And guess what? These hate groups, they do not like us. And guess what they're doing now? As we already know, They have turned in their combat boots, their leather jackets, and their spiked hair for what? For suits. They have infiltrated the police department. They have infiltrated military. They're going into government. They're coaches on your kids' team. They're teachers at in schools. They're on the school board. They're on the city boards. They have infiltrated all areas of action, as Nellie Fuller Jr. would say. And we as Black people, all we want to do is put our hands together and saying, we shall overcome. And then we want to talk about how great we were in the past, which we were, but we're not looking at the fact that we have an enemy. Every day when I'm at work and I come across these individuals, they have gang structures that are in prison that reach far out to the community, and they're doing things. It was the Italians, if I'm not mistaken, who said, put all the drugs and all the garbage in the Black community, keep it out of our community, sell it to them. They're the animals. So history has shown us that we have no friends but ourselves. And sometimes we don't even have ourselves, because there are some of us that will turn on each other. But history has shown us that we have enemies, but we seem not to act like it. We seem to think that everything is lolly-dolly. Now, when we get on YouTube and we argue on panels about stuff, and it happens, and I've had my share of blowouts with people on panels, so I'm not saying I'm any better than anybody else, but when we get on these panels and we have these blowouts and we get these large numbers, I'm just gonna keep it real. It ain't always white folks looking at us when we're acting foolish on these streams. It ain't always Black, what I'm trying to say, let me correct that. It ain't always Black people that are watching us when we're acting foolish on these streams. It's white folks that are also enjoying us being foolish, that's giving us these big numbers. So we got to keep that in mind. We have an enemy that's studying us. They're studying us they're studying us, and we need to study them in a military manner. And so therefore, I'm going to rest on that. That's the attitude that we must have. And only a small few of us are going to have that attitude. So I'm going to leave it right there. Brother X, you have anything you want to add before I probably get to a point where I'm going to end this stream?
Yeah, well, I would be one to say, and this may make some people angry, but I don't care about that. I don't want to credit everything that happens with us to just white people. Sometimes, and many times, it's not just the white people who are causing us problems. Sometimes it is us. And the reason why I say that, because some of us have gotten to a point where we feel like we have been shrouded by this cloak of fake white acceptance, and we feel like we've made it. So we don't have to be concerned, with what's going on, with Black folks, because see, I have this job where, I work with white folks. I live in this neighborhood where it's nothing but white folks. I have this business that's been validated by white folks. So a lot of us have been shrouded with that fake white acceptance, and that shroud has covered us and kept us blind to what's really going on, because some of us actually believe that just because we've achieved a certain amount of success, whether it be in school, in business, employment, wealth, in society, that somehow we are no longer a Negro or seen as a Negro by white folks. And I think that's where many of us make the mistake, because we have excelled to a certain degree in life that maybe we didn't think we were going to excel to, or we have excelled farther than some of our brothers and sisters. So once we get there, we kind of forget what's going on with our people. And when I say our people, I mean our people. Our people. And some of us think we are no longer part of our people because we've gained a certain status in life, we live a certain way, and I think that that's a problem too, because we have fell into the trap of thinking that somehow white folks have accepted us, and in reality I just don't believe that that's true.
Okay, I have a question for you brothers while you're on. We're getting ready to go into a new year, even though we don't really know what year it is or how old we are. As Brother Khalid Muhammad once said, because this enemy has been manipulating the calendars, changing this to that. I did if you get a chance, check out the video I just did called Son of God is Son of God, how a lot of what we've learned in the Bible or what we've learned in Christianity really comes out of African spirituality. And I was reading from a book that I have that was talking about the genocide, the holiday, European holidays, a genocide for our minds, for Black people's mind. And I was reading in here how they actually chose the 25th. They were arguing, these bishops, these religious clergymen, whatever you want to call them, they were arguing about what day, because other cultures were already celebrating days like November 17th and April. It was all over the place. And so they came to this collaboration that the 25th, we're choosing the 25th to be the day to celebrate the birth of Jesus. So it was chosen. It was not identified as the actual date. And so I talked about that in the video a little bit. And in the video, it gets at the notion of what we're saying, that we've been so bamboozled, and we've been so manipulated mentally as a people. And I'm not saying, not to say we don't have responsibility for what we do, not saying that, but we've been so indoctrinated and manipulated that we have believed anything, because even if you talk to someone about the birth of Christ or whether Christ even existed, and there's some evidence out there to question that, people will go haywire on you, because we're so conditioned by, and everything that we really know is because of what someone told us or what we've read. It's not because we actually know for 100% certain. It's because we've been indoctrinated since the time we were kids. Well, the same thing goes for how we look at our enemy. We've been indoctrinated to fear our enemy, to be validated by our enemy. I mean, when you look at Obama, Black folks didn't really rally around Obama until he won in Iowa, and the white folks put their legitimacy on him. And the minute that white folks put legitimacy on this man who calls himself Barack Obama, that's when Black folks said, oh, white folks like him, so I'm gonna go with the Negro now. When most of us said this Negro didn't have a chance in the beginning. And unfortunately, under his administration is when you had an all-time high of Black men, Black people being mistreated. Go figure. And then when he put Eric Holder in charge of the justice charge of being a top police, and Eric Holder said something that I thought was true, and that is, America is a coward when it comes to the issues of race. And then they did what? They put a muzzle on that brother. Mm-hmm. So, ghost figure. But what I also wanted to add is that going into 2019, where do you think we need to go as Black, is those of us that are content creators on Black YouTube, on YouTube in general, on Black YouTube? What do we need to do to cut this divide that we have? This whole thing about women, Black women and Black men. What is it that's going to take for us to cut this out and move forward into doing stuff that's more constructive for our people?
Is that for me?
Well, for anybody. And don't get me wrong, I know that we do have some interpersonal differences, but we're going into a whole nother year. And I don't think we should bring the same shit from year 2018 on Black YouTube into year 2019. I think it's time for something fresh, brand new, a new attitude, a new unity. Today is a perfect example of that. We rallied out people to come out and support the channel today, and people came out. And I'm proud of folks that came out, and I'm proud of people that's going to watch the repeat of this video. Even though we didn't have Melissa on today, the fact that they're still with us is a testament.
Well, that's the answer. I think to mend some of the wounds that exist within Black society, I think we have to find a few common interests that we can all rally around, because our divides and the quote unquote wounds that kind of injure Black society are over what? They're over differences. So if we can find some common interest that we can rally around and some things that we agree upon, I think that that's a start. Now, is that the end all be all? Of course not. But I think that that is a beginning. If we can find some things of common interest, you know, situations like this, causes like this. I mean, it's sad. And I often say this, that the only time black folks can kind of rally around is when somebody get buried or when somebody's getting married. But unfortunately, it usually takes these type of situations to get us to kind of get out of our personal hang-ups and our personal disagreements, so we can kind of rally around this one person who's in need or has a crisis. So maybe, just maybe, in 2019, black folks can find some common interests. And I don't just mean, you know, when someone gets killed, you know, by some police officer, or one of our children turn up dead mysteriously or missing. I'm talking about maybe some type of thing that involves community, maybe some type of thing that involves education, something that involves child development. You know, I mean, I can go on and on and on all night about the things that we can have in common that could possibly heal some of these open wounds that we have inside black society right now.
I have the elder Rasan on live. He's wasn't able to come on the panel, but he wants to say a few words. Brother Elder, Sister Melissa was not able to come on with us live today because she wasn't feeling well. She suffers with lupus. The husband called Maurice Muhammad and said that we would have to set up another date to have her come on live. But we still have been talking about this issue around young black men or black people being hung, killed, being persecuted. You have a lot of activists that were involved in this situation in Ferguson that have wind up mysteriously dead. And the sister's son, they told the sister that the son actually committed suicide, but yet they had no forensic evidence to prove that out. And he had a chair that was near him, that was not near him. There was a chair when she found him hanging from a tree in the yard that was far away from him. It looked like some shenanigans was going on, or it was some shenanigans. What are your thoughts about this case? Go ahead, brother.
Rephrase that again.
Well, the sister said that her son, they found her son in the yard with a chair far away from him, pants down, and he was hanging from a tree. The police say that it was a suicide, but she says that he had too much to live for. He was 24 years old. He had a real estate business. He was really looking at life on a high level. He also stated that he didn't believe in suicide, and he wanted to go to Africa and do good works over there as well. And so, and then the sister had been harassed because she was an activist that was involved in the Ferguson situation. And the son was sort of an activist himself, along with the mother. So the coroner, the police were laughing when they came on the scene and were talking to her. And the police dispatcher told her to take the body down, which you don't do because you want forensics to be able to look at the scene. And there's been about at least 3, maybe 5 activists that have been dead under mysterious circumstances. So with that said, brother, she wasn't able to come on with us today because of her health issues, and she's stressed out. But she'll come on with us at a later time, according to the great brother Maurice Muhammad, who talked to the family. So with that said, brother, can you say a few words about your thoughts about this?
Okay. Before I start, peace, blessings, and love to all the Melanated family in the chat room.
Peace, Elder.
Love and happiness, brother Maurice. Queen, I know who I am, and all the rest of the family, Filthy Frank, Dennis is D, and everybody in the chat room. These people is trying to shut us down. They're trying to put fear in us. That's the whole problem. That man ain't hung himself. Black people ain't never hung themselves. That's white folks bullshit. They've been doing that shit since slavery time, hanging black folks. All they're trying to do right now is put fear in us. And what I tell that sister, keep doing what you're doing. 2019, we really got to get at it. We really got to get together. Because ain't no bullshitting now.
Right.
Really ain't no bullshitting because these motherfuckers cracker. The other day, I saw this fucking cracker kick the little calendar. And it's time to fight. It is time to get down. It is time to start the revolution. It is time to protect our women. It's time to protect our children. It's time to protect the righteous that want to go forward, want to be liberated. But these people ain't playing. The police probably had something to do with it, or some higher up.
Well, she did.
Because, you know, when you speak out against all this evilness, they try to shut you down.
She did. She did report that she was being stalked prior to Danye being found hanging, because they have been watching her. But according to Brother Maurice Muhammad, they're standing their ground at their home. They're not going to run off. They're going to stay strong. But she believes.
You gotta stay strong, man. These people ain't playing, so we got to show them we ain't playing. We got to go by the Old Testament. We got to go by our ancestors' rules. A lot of people might not like what I'm about to say, but they take one of our lives, cut. You know the game.
Yes, brother.
That's ancient rules. That's the Hebrew brothers' rule. That's my heart rule. You know. We got to take it to them. Because I'm sick of it. Because I have been there when that bastard kicked that little boy. I might have been in jail for murking the motherfucker. I guarantee you that. Okay.
All right.
How you going to kick a child? Why you don't kick a grown man, you bitch?
That's right.
You should put his ass in a goddamn cell with the baddest brothers in the jailhouse and let him beat his fucking ass to death.
That's right.
That's right.
Okay. Well, Elder.
The elder's very pissed about that. I'm very pissed about that.
Yes.
Messing with our children, messing with our women. That shit gotta go.
Well, Elder, what I want to do the next time we're able to get her on, I'm gonna definitely get you a link so that you're on the panel to be able to talk to the sister. So that's what I want to do.
Yeah, that'd be fine. I'd be glad to join the panel on that.
Okay, so although she wasn't with us today for health reasons, and we're gonna, with the help of Brother Maurice Muhammad, we're gonna try to get her back on soon as possible. So thank you, brother, for coming on and saying your words.
Yeah, I came home a little early because it was doing a lot of raining. So.
Oh, okay.
When I got home, I looked for your channel. I said, well, they're on. Let me go see where you let me in where I can say a few words in encouragement for our people.
Yes.
Because I'm sick of this nonsense and this evilness.
Well, look.
Going toward our people.
Yeah. Well, Elder, if you want me to, if you're at home, I can send you a link and you can come right on the panel physically. You want me to do that, or?
Sounds good.
Okay. Well, let me end this. Let me end the call, and I'll send you a link. All right. Bye. I think what I'm gonna do is try to call Brother B Miles 84 of the Conscious Channel. I tried to send him a link, but I think I have. But right now, let me go ahead while I get this link to the Elder. Let me introduce Brother Underrated Darkness, who has an incredible channel. So definitely check out Underrated Darkness and support him. Brother, I'm glad that you were able to come on board. I was thinking about you as someone that I wanted to come on board. Unfortunately, as you heard, The sister was supposed to be on live with us today. She's going through a lot of stress, obviously, and she's having some health issues. So we're going to try to get her back on when we can. But Brother Underrated Darkness, you had a chance to listen to a little bit of what we're talking about here. What are your thoughts on this situation and what's been happening to us as a people just in general?
Well, this really touched me because my late father has witnessed one of his best friends got hanged. And understand the times of the 1930s. And when my father passed away in '89, that murder, that day still unsolved. I mean, the case was still unsolved. And what troubles me of our people, just a few of us is on court. We let our personal differences get in the way. And I don't want to sound sour and everything because we resilient people. And I get that. But we all of us gotta be on the same accord. The black men, we gotta reconcile right now. We got to have these conversations. We got to develop this warrior attitude. It got to start right now. You know, I'm in alignment of every brother and sister on the panel. Believe me, I am. Maybe y'all don't know me, but I am. But we got to be on the same accord. We got to have these conversations. We got to have programs that protect our community. What I do in the streets, I talk to our people in the streets, and they hurting. You know what I'm saying? I talk to the brothers, young men and young women that work in these stores. They hurting. They know what's going on. And they said what we should do. And then sometimes you got some parents, they not in tune with what's going on because they got to take care of their kids. That's understandable. But we have to be on the same accord, brother. No matter what status we in.
Mm-hmm.
This is war. You know, this is war for a long time. And my father passed away at 89. To understand he never get the justice of his best friend getting hanged for nothing. And then we cannot forget about a few years ago about Washington State where this brother got hanged. We can't forget about the brother that they found in New Orleans in the school in the school park got hanged, and they said they hanged themselves. I'm just saying, excuse me. I'm just we gotta be on the same accord. That's it, brother. I'm sorry. It just when are we gonna understand that? I'm sorry, man. You can go ahead, man.
Brother Info, can I say something?
Yeah, brother. Look. This is emotional for me too, brothers. It's for all of us as black men. This is tough. Go right ahead, Brother X.
Yeah, I mean, we often talk, man, you know, on these panels and on YouTube and everywhere else. And often you hear any one of us say that, you know, black folks, we don't all think alike. We're not all monolithic. I've even said it myself. But when it comes to stuff like this, we need to be monolithic when it comes to these kind of things. These kind of things, we have to be like Brother TUD just said, we have to be on one accord in our thought when it comes to these type of situations and crises. This is one time we need to be monolithic. You know, if we're not monolithic on anything else, we need to be monolithic on these type of things. And we need to gather around these people, man, and offer our support, offer our time, offer our backup, offer our damn money if necessary when it comes to fighting these type of things. I mean, that's just what it is, you know, because we spend a lot of time, we spend a lot of resources and money on a lot of BS. But when it comes to stuff like this, we hold back. We don't want to get involved. You know, we like to get on here and we listen to brothers like myself and like brothers Muhammad and the elder and you speak about it. Then that's it. This stream ends. They go to another stream and listen to that. And it starts all over again. I think we need to get beyond that kind of stuff, man, and start really doing something. I talk about this all the time. You know, we can get on these panels, man, and we can talk about this stuff, man, till we blue in the face. But until we start getting some boots on the ground and getting some damn hands in the dirt, nothing's going to change. And those are just the simple facts, man. We got to get our hands dirty. We got to get our boots dirty. And hey, some of us may have to even shed some blood and lose our lives for real change to take place. I mean, that's just a fact, man. And I know a lot of brothers don't want to hear that, but they know that that is true.
Well, let me just say this. The first
thing, can I say one thing, information, man?
Go ahead, brother. You know I respect you.
To cut you off.
No, it's okay. I respect you. I respect you.
I do talk about stuff like that. And I want to put it out there. And you know that information, man. I do talk about stuff. I do talk about us brothers gotta be accountable. I do say that it has to be a time that we have to shed blood. It does have the time that sometimes we gotta go against the suppressed system. I do be talking about it, but the sad thing about it, there are a lot of us as a people, we want to hear what we damn want to hear instead of be on one damn accord. We got to be on one damn accord. We got to stop being damn playing favoritism of certain sectors of our community. That is hurting us right now. Our sister need our goddamn help. Oh, that's all of us damn do it. If some one person can't pick up, let another person pick up.
But
that's all I'm saying. I had to say this because, you know, I know there are some people out there is doing it right now, and you know they're not being noticed. But I'm just letting the ones, you know, being noticed and everything. And I love the panel. You know, I respect what Maurice is doing. You know, I hear you from Gab Talk Media, and brother, I do follow you, and I respect you, and I respect the popular thought and everything. And we do have brothers do be talk about, but I'm just saying, when it's going to be a lot more people going to be talking about, and then the ones who talk about, they got to be in it. That's all I'm saying. And the sisters too. Sisters, you got to take on this too. And that's all I got to say. And I ain't mean to like sound emotional. I ain't mean to cut your information, man.
No, brother, no.
It just, for me, it's just like, you know, we got to stop playing certain sectors. We stop playing doggone favoritism. Let's all of us be on the same accord. And whatever we could do, we could do. If a person could do whatever we do, they could do. That's all I'm saying.
You know what we could do, brother, that could change everything for us on these platforms? Could be a game changer for us? Let's stop having panels where we're arguing over philosophical bullshit. Let's stop having panels where black men and black women are arguing with each other and black men are arguing with each other. You've seen this, where we're going back and forth. Let's have less of that and more true building. Let's have more live streams where we're actually talking about how we can build something, how we can make change, where we can have people come on the panels and talk about what they're actually doing on the ground in the community. We can have brothers who have businesses and we can support their businesses. How about we have more live streams where we have panels where we're talking about actually what we're going to do to work together, and less about gossip and this person is a B and that person is an N and so on and so forth. Let's start that going into 2006 and 2019. My mind's going back here. 2019, let's come into the new year with that type of attitude. Because, brother, Underrated Darkness, I know you do this sort of stuff. I check out your channel. You're doing positive stuff over there. You having real talk with men. You're building something big over there. But the problem is, I don't think a lot of our people are attracted to that. We seem to be attracted to stuff that's reality TV show stuff, right? So we seem to gravitate in general to that kind of material. And the channels like yourself who are doing this real types of stuff, the reality is you're not going to get the sort of attention overall from our people, because so much of us like to gravitate towards that which is negative. You know, that sells papers. That's sexy. we're not sexy enough when we talk about these kind of issues. You know why? Because these issues are the true reality that nobody is really prepared to want to deal with emotionally. Or actually, we want to be in a dream world and just say, let's talk about, you know, how can you bust a nut with women? How many women can you get? Are you an alpha male or you a beta male? All this old nonsense. And most of us who ain't on all of that, we're not on here complaining about that because we don't have problems in that department. Okay. It's about what can we do tangible to get our people in a better space. But one of the things I learned today when we called out for everybody to come over and support this interview, unfortunately, the sister's not here, is that what I see in the chat room, what I'm seeing right now is that there are Black people who are willing to support something like this. The question is, are there enough? And I'll leave with that one.
You know, brother, let me say this. And, you know, one thing is I'm very vocal on what I want and what I believe and the direction that I believe that we should move in as a people. And, you know, our organization, the initiative, is trying to raise an army, a military. And we put out applications. We send out, people email us and ask for an application. And it's shocking, but we get more applications from sisters than we do from brothers.
Wow.
And that's a damn shame. That is a real damn shame. Now, our organization, when you talk the stuff that I talk and you believe the stuff that I believe, then, you know, you really about making something happen. We're talking about taking over not just one city, but we're going to do multiple cities. But we know we got to have a military to back us up when we make the move. Now, I'm very confident that the sisters that we do have will not hesitate to grab a cracker or any no good nigga by the goddamn neck and rip their fucking throat out. I don't hesitate to know that these women will do that. They'll do it. But the brothers, I told Brother Bakari when we first start getting applications in, I said, brother, the majority is from women. And I'm shocked because I thought the majority would be the brothers because I thought that the brothers want to kick some ass.
Yes.
I thought the brothers would want to break this cracker's neck. And unfortunately, I don't know what it is. We all can't be afraid. We all can't be passive. Look here, you're not going to be free until blood flow. And right now it's our blood that's flowing.
That's right.
And that's why you are oppressed. Mm-hmm. But when the enemy blood starts to flow, then that cracker will say, well, let's sit down and negotiate. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You understand? So as men, don't let the women outshine you. Don't let the women be more on front to challenge the enemy than we are. It's sickening for me to have to see that it's more of our sisters that we're supposed to be providing protection for. And they're outnumbering us to separate and establish our own reality. They are ready for war. But what about us? So men, we need to have some conversations so we can figure out, well, what is the problem? What is stopping us from doing what need to be done? What is stopping us? That these crackers will bleed like we will bleed. Snatch these motherfuckers up by their neck and whoop their asses. That's what the time demands, that they get their asses beat. And they keep doing the shit because we're not whooping their ass. It's just that simple. A bully will back up when you kick his ass. When the elder talked about the cracker kicking the brother, the little baby, he didn't give a shit. He didn't fear no black man because he sees us laying down consistently. He sees beat up by little short yellow people, and we allow that bullshit. Instead of allowing that, we should have ran up in the goddamn Chinese place and whoop all their ass and send a message that this will not be tolerated. But as long as we want to be doing shit by the enemy's rules because we don't want no heat, fuck it. Bring it. A fight is what we need, and a fight is what they're asking for. And we should never lay down. Fight their asses, and I guarantee you we will win. We got to have that kind of heart, that kind of love, that we'll go to war on this enemy at any given time. At any given time, and the enemy will back the fuck up. Because he'll understand that he's dealing with men. Not boys, not little girls, but he's dealing with men. And men that will fuck him up at the drop of a dime. And it's just like Fred Hampton said, when these motherfuckers go, we go. He understood. He understood. That's why the enemy had to get him killed. Because they did not want a real uprising. And they saw in Ferguson what they feared because they showed up in tanks and dogs and AKs, and we didn't have it.
That's right.
But we didn't have fear.
That's right.
And that's what they want to stop.
That's right.
So it's gotta come. We're gonna get this shit on. Be ready. Join up and let's handle our business. Because as soon as we get it on, the sooner it'll be over and we can build our lives successfully. Thank you, beloved.
Well, beloved, you said it already earlier that if you were to really call out people, you could see what side people are really on, especially on these social medias. You can determine who's on what side, who's the phonies and who's the truths and who's the balonies. So maybe going into this new year, we need to identify who's really here to help our people and who's not really here to help us. And you can identify them when you call the order like that, brother. I'm going to go to Brother X, but let me, I know we got the elder on the panel per se. Brother Elder, unmute yourself if you can, so everybody can see you on the screen. I know it's dark in the back. Can you unmute yourself? Push the unmute button. Okay. All right. Whenever the elder can unmute himself. Brother X, you have anything you want to add?
Yeah, well, I agree with Brother Muhammad. I think it's there's a high level of fear when it comes to these type of things, but I also think it's a high level of comfortability. I think that many of us are very comfortable with the status quo. We're comfortable with young folks getting shot by the police. We're comfortable with white folks doing things to black folks on a grand scale. We're comfortable with this. This is the status quo, and we've accepted it. You combine comfortability with fear, and what do you have? You have stagnation. You have stagnation. Okay. No one's gonna make a move if they're fearful and comfortable at the same time. So I mean, we got to get rid of the fear and be made to be uncomfortable. Then maybe we can have a call to action and get some people off of their asses to actually do something.
Yes, yes. I think the elder has just come on board. So, elder, usually what we do when someone
can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. What we usually do sometimes. You might have to mute your I don't know if you're using a computer or not. But anyway.
No, I'm on the phone.
Okay. From time to time, when brothers talk, we'll all of us as individuals sometimes we'll mute ourselves so there won't be any feedback when a brother's talking. But go right ahead, Elder. You're actually on the panel now. You have any other thoughts, brother?
Shit, I agree with brother Maurice. We got to fucking fight. Ain't about it, because just like he said, if you whip a bully ass up, you stand up to him, even you get your ass whipped. If you stand up and fight that motherfucker, I guarantee you he gonna back up. And that's what we gotta do. Because too much shit is going on every day on YouTube, Facebook, you see what these devils doing us.
Yes.
Because they think we cowards. What else it is? They think we cowards. They think we scared of them. Right. That's what bullies do. What else they do? When you go to cracking these motherfuckers' head, knocking these son of bitches out, whether it's male or female, because one of them Beckers get in my face, I'm going to slap the piss out of her ass too. That's what you're supposed to do. That's right. You know how the elders don't hold nothing back. Because they got a lot of them bastards who get in your face and want to talk shit, wave their finger in your face, and I'll knock her on her ass just like I do bread of Mr. Charlie. That's right, family. We must stand up and get a military and fight. Ain't no other way. Ain't no other way. If you go to school every fucking day and motherfucker taking your lunch money, and all you gotta do is get a 2x4 like I did when I was about 9, 10 years old and bust some motherfucker side of the head, and I had to worry about nobody taking my lunch money no more. And that really happened. They all don't play. I'm 5'6", 100 pounds. 100 pounds of nothing but power. I don't fear nobody. I don't feel nothing but the Creator. And I don't really feel him. He's not gonna hurt me. He ain't gonna do nothing but help me. And we gotta help ourselves. And we help ourselves, the ancestors will help us, and the Creator will help us along with nature. And these motherfuckers will be eliminated from this fucking planet.
Yes.
He's in rare form.
Well, that's me. I can't be nobody but the elder. It's like Brother Maurice. That's why I love that brother. He got that fire just like I got. We'll fight. Come to New Orleans and go to the market and ask anybody with the elder fight. I didn't slap a bunch of crackers side their goddamn head for fucking with me. That's right.
That's right.
And we got to have that Killmonger attitude. We got to have that Wakanda attitude. We got to bring that back. It must come back. If it don't come back, we gonna be wimps. I ain't no fucking wimp. Brother Maurice ain't no fucking wimp.
That's right.
Ali Muhammad wasn't no wimp.
That's right.
Fred Hampton wasn't no wimp.
That's right.
Moses Garvey wasn't no wimp.
That's right.
Nat Turner wasn't no wimp.
That's right.
Harriet Tubman wasn't no wimp.
Go ahead.
We need them kind of people. Millions of them.
That's right.
We don't need them but a million. We got, if you get 1 million brothers think like me and Brother Muhammad, I can guarantee you, Brother Maurice, this shit will stop in a second.
That's right.
Peace and blessing, family.
Yes, sir.
You. Well, I don't know what can be said. I think he put his feet in that one with seasoning and Danye pepper, and I don't know what to say. You just you put it where the ghost can get it, as they say. Wow. I'm going to say to everybody that's listening, as we get ready to go into, let me mute this, Brother Elder. I'll have to mute him because the sound back. But I'm going to say to everybody listening out there in YouTube, everybody just listening in general, going into this new year, we need to go into the new year with a different frame of mind, a different thought. We've got to get away from anything that causes these beefs that we have on YouTube, all the beefs, people falling out with each other. We've got to some kind of way mend the differences that we have and the beefs, if there are they're out there, and galvanize ourselves to come together to put our energy that we put on our beefs with people, put our energy into supporting and getting involved in situations like this where you have young men like Danye, who was lynched, and the St. Louis County Police are going to come up with this orchestration that it was some sort of that it was a suicide. And if I'm not mistaken, Brother Maurice Muhammad, I heard this sister say on one of her interviews that the detective that was laughing, the detective that was doing the most talking to her, happened to be he's a what kind of police officer? He's a he's not he's not even in this jurisdiction. What the hell is an airport policeman? What the hell is an airport policeman doing investigating a homicide or a murder, a lynching of a young black man? That's completely out of his jurisdiction. What is he doing talking to her about a crime scene that he has no jurisdiction over? What the hell is that about?
Mm-hmm. You know, it's more disrespect. It's more disrespect. I mean, anytime you can have the police out there, and as you spoke about earlier, or the operator telling them to cut the body down to mess up the crime scene, then you have the police finally getting out there and they're laughing. They're laughing in the backyard. They're laughing out there in the front yard. You know, it's very, very disrespectful, because what they're saying is, nigga, you don't matter. You don't matter, and ain't nothing you're going to do about it. So that's why I say that we definitely have to answer. We have to show them, oh, yeah, it is something that we will do about it, because we cannot let this continue. This continuing the way that it is, it shows that we have not matured as a people to understand our own self-interest. And we have to be about our own self-interest, because there's nothing that this enemy has that he will do right by us. And we have to do right by ourselves. And that means we have to take our justice. And it's just that simple. We have to take it and make them devils bow down. And that's within our power to do. We just got to get up and get it done. It's just that simple.
Wow. Man. Does anybody else have anything they want to add? Like I said, I've been working hard to keep my emotions in check. I don't know what they would have been if the sister was with us. I was going to do the best I can to stay strong for her. But Underrated Darkness, I could feel your emotions, brother. I've seen something. I've had friends. I've seen some really bad things happen to people as it relates to dealing with police. I have had some experiences, bad experiences with police myself. And whenever I heard whenever they do something like this, see, Danye Jones was made an example of. They did what they did to that young brother, 24 years old, and they're doing what they're doing to his mother with the stocking, is because they're trying to send a message to the rest of us that if you do this, this is what you're gonna get, Negro. You're gonna get hung. You're gonna get persecuted. We're gonna scare you. This is all to scare the rest of us from not being active and speaking out. It's the same method that goes all the way back to the plantation when a brother or a black man or a black woman would try to escape, and then they would whip that black man or that black woman, which is where the word cracker comes from. It's the cracking of the white man's whip cracking on our back. And they did that publicly for other black people who are in slavery to see this and witness this, to scare them into submission, to tell them, if you try to run, if you try to escape for freedom, this is what you're going to get. Well, Let's bring it back to 2018. The same goddamn record is playing today. They're doing the same tactics on us. Like I said, we may not be in physical shackles on a plantation anymore, but in many ways, we are in a plantation of our mind because they've got us mentally in slavery when they show you this is what you get. And if you do anything, you're going to end up like Danye. This is what you call psychological warfare. I think it's military warfare. Control the minds of your enemy, scare your enemy, create propaganda for your enemy. That's what's going on here.
Yeah, well, I just want to say this because I'm about to jump off in a minute, but
I'm going to end the stream very soon too, brother. But I had to say those words.
If you could, brother Info Man, and also brother Muhammad, if you could forward, if you want to, you could forward my information to Lady Melissa, because you already know that, you know, these type of situations are inside of the wheelhouse of TPOT media. We do these type of things all the time. We get the word out. We follow the cases. Unfortunately, I have a multitude of mothers who I am linked up with because they have appeared on my streams in the past, just with these very same instances. So feel free to pass my information on to Lady Melissa if she wants to come on. You know, the TPOT media platform is at her disposal. Even if I have to move something to the side for her, I will. So just, you know, feel free to pass my information on to her if she needs to get the word out. She wants to start a fundraiser. She wants to whatever, you know, TPOT media is at her disposal.
Okay, what we're gonna do, brother X, is my goal is for Sister Melissa to make her rounds to all of our different channels. So 100%, we're gonna get her on your channel.
Okay,
we're gonna try to get her to as many people's platforms as possible because the message has to continue to resonate.
Absolutely.
And they're not doing anything for her in St. Louis. That Shuck and Jive police department, that county police department is not doing anything. Anytime they're sending airport police who are out of their jurisdiction, that right there is another sign that they're in the cult. They're in this shit. I mean, I'm getting angry right now. They are involved in this. Okay. And like I said earlier, these hate groups have infiltrated the police departments of this country.
Of course they have.
Where you think these people working? They're not just working at they working in these institutions. So we're gonna get her on your program. We're gonna what I'm gonna do with the help of brother Maurice Muhammad, we're gonna have to try to see when we can get her back, when her health is in better shape and her nerves and everything are in better shape, because the sister's going through something. Put Melissa McKinnis in your prayers, everybody. Put her in your prayers. Pray for the family. They're still living in the house in the neighborhood where they're being stalked at, and she has spoken upon this. Put them in your prayers. Everybody that's in the chat room, all 148 of you, when we bring her back on live, whether it's my channel or whether she goes on anybody's channel, give the same support to everybody's channels. I want to see the same numbers. I want to see everybody come over. I want to see you all put it through your social media like you did today. I want to thank you. I apologize again that she's not on live, but she has some things happening. So definitely respect the fact that we tried to get her on and we're going to make it happen. I want to thank brother Underrated Darkness. You have any last words, brother, before I put it into the stream? Because I'm going to give, I'm going to go to brother Elder and have him say some last words. And I must give Maurice Muhammad the last words because he is the brother that made this happen today, the possibilities of it happening. And I want to say shout out to Gab Talk Media, who was also involved in this. So Underrated Darkness, brother, any last words?
All I could say, I'm in the movement. That's all I'm gonna say, because I'm gonna get ready, do a live and stuff like that. So I'm in the movement. That's all. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say. Peace to the brothers and sisters, and let's go get it. Let's still save our community. That's it. So peace to everybody. I'm out.
Thank you, brother. That's Underrated Darkness, everybody. Make sure you check out his channel, Click his avatar in the chat room. Underrated Dark, The Underrated Darkness is the name of his channel. The Underrated Darkness. Go over there and support his channel. I don't use that other word because didn't give you guys a little information. YouTube uses these funky algorithms. So when you use words like subscribe and all that, they will see people who will subscribe to your channel as spam. Really, they want to purge people off our channels altogether is what they're really doing. So use the term support. So say, I support your channel. I support you. Brother Underrated Darkness brought that to my attention, and I have found out that it is true. So keep that in mind. And so with that said, let me go over to the elder. Or Brother X, do you have any last words to say, brother?
No, just thank you for having me on. Salute to Brother Muhammad and salute to the elder. Peace was good, elder. Just let Lady Melissa know that, you know, if she can't count on the police out there in St. Louis, she can count on us right here.
Yeah.
All right. And I'm gonna say peace.
And I have another question before I'm gonna bring this question up. Is there a Nation of Islam chapter in that area where possibly the Fruits of Islam could get involved in providing her some protection? That's a thought that's come to my mind. Now, maybe it's already in the motions and I'm speaking ahead of myself, but it is something that makes me ponder, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to get Brother Ben X on. He told me that he would come on. He had some other live stream interviews he had to do today, and I've been sending him links, but I'm afraid that the brother was not able to make it. And that's a question I had for him. But let me go over to the elder. Elder, you have any last words? Unmute yourself, brother. Hang on, we're going to wait while the elder comes on. Unmute yourself, elder. You're elder. Thank you. All right.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Baba, do you have last words?
Well, the only thing I can really say is we got to try to protect the system. What you just said about the Nation of Islam, they should send some brothers over there to help protect their sister, because these people are very evil. We're dealing with a diabolical, evil, demon, reptilian, a person that has no conscience, no love for us. No love.
Mm-hmm.
So we just got to take care of ourselves.
That's right.
We got to take care of ourselves. Like Dr. John Henry Clark said, we have no friends. We have nobody but us.
That's right.
We got to stop the bickering and fighting. 2019 got to be the start of the revolution, the start of taking care of our women and our children. Anytime something happens, take care of business. Do what we got to do and show that we're not playing and we're not taking this nonsense no more. We're not dealing with it no more. We are the original people of this planet who have fallen from grace.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. But we will rise again. We will rise again. But we must come together as one. We must get rid of all the negativity. Get rid of all the negative thinking people, and everything gonna be all right. But the main thing, we're gonna have to fight. I can't say nothing else. We must fight. Ain't no other way. So that's my last words. Peace, blessing, and love to Brother Muhammad, Brother Maurice. Peace, blessing, and love to all the brothers and sisters in the chat room. Peace and blessings to our host, Information Man.
Thank you.
Peace and blessings and love to all the melanated family on planet Earth.
Thank you, Baba.
And the elders out.
Elders out. I love
elders out. I'll be doing the live stream about 9 o'clock Central Time.
All right, I'll be checking it out.
Yes, sir, Brother Elder. Peace, blessings, and love to you, sir. Love you.
Assalamu alaikum, my brother.
Wa alaikum salam.
Oh, let me see. Brother Maurice Muhammad, love you. I want to give you the last words. If you could do me a favor and get some message out to the family that I understand the situation today, why she couldn't come on, and tell her as soon as things get a little bit better for her that I am more than ready and willing to do the interview as soon as possible. And that there's a lot of people on YouTube that have her back and are supportive and want to get her on their channel as well. And we recognize the bullshit that's going on in this case. So with that said, I want to give you the last words.
Yes, sir. Thank you, beloved. And I definitely thank you. And Baba, I love you so much. Thank you, Brother Elder. I tell you, keep us fired up and ready to go. And, you know, I want you to be an elder in my organization because you're valuable to us. And, you know, to have you as an elder in the initiative, it gives us a lot of your wisdom that we can sit and you can give us the teachings that we need so that we may go straight. We love you. And yes, sir, Brother Information Man, I definitely will. My wife will text her that information and she will be here with us as soon as she's feeling better. And I also want to thank Brother Black Man because he is the one that put me and her together. He had dropped several messages on different videos asking me to reach out to her. And we tried, but we wasn't very successful. And he made it happen for me. So I thank our brother for being real and being a brother and knowing that his brother, that I will stand with that sister and do what needs to be done to make sure that she is protected. The Nation of Islam Mosque there in St. Louis, they are sending FOI over, a security detail over. Minister Ava gave us an update that is in the works. So we are definitely thankful that the nation is doing what it should do. But we should not lay back and become comfortable. We got to keep everything moving because if there fall in a gap and security is lacking, then we got to step in and be ready to do what needs to be done. And I thank you, brother. You are an awesome, beautiful brother.
Thank you.
And I know where your heart is. I know where your heart is. And, you know, some people ask me, well, why you didn't have her on your own platform first? You know, you always take care of home first. And I told them, I said that where my brother is, that's home. That's home. Me and my brother are one. I said, what he offers and what he can do is what we need. See, we are a people that are multifaceted, multi-talented. All of us have a role to do. And we step back and let people do their role, and we will see the greatness from the synergy that we have, that we work together as a collective. That is our greatest power, to work together as a collective. So, you know, again, I can't thank you enough for answering the call, because you know, as well as we all know, that when you do this, you know, you're stepping in the line of fire. And I thank you. I thank you. I thank you. I thank Brother Gab Talk, because y'all did not hesitate. Y'all did not hesitate.
No, was not good.
That's love. And through that kind of love is the power to resurrect. And it's the power to protect and build a reality that we must have. So again, beloved, I thank you. I can't thank you enough for doing everything that you are doing. And we love you. We love you a lot.
I love you too. Let me just say this. If for whatever reason, Sister Melissa begins to feel better, whether it be, let's say, tomorrow or Monday, or even New Year's Day, which I'll be home and ready to fire up. What I'm going to do after this is over is I'm going to go back into the creative studio and create another one. And I won't release it until I get the word from you that she's able to do it. And if that means that she can do it tomorrow, or she can do it sometime Monday, New Year's Day Eve, or New Year's Day, or if it has to be going into the weekend coming up, just give me the word, brother, and I will already have it set up and ready to go. Because, brother, I have notes. I have ingratiated myself into her case, and I had a lot of powerful questions to ask that sister. I had some follow-up questions that are based on things that she has said in the past that I wanted to follow up with her. So I am more prepared. I didn't even touch the surface to where I wanted to take things today, but I gave a little bit of taste. And in terms of the suicide, I know just from experience that looking at her son's scene, looking at the photos, and I know on YouTube, they don't want you to show those photos and all that kind of stuff. I know the way it's set up that it was foul play all around, because I deal with this at work. I see it firsthand. So once again, let her know that I'm ready whenever if it's at a late notice, if it's at late notice and I'm home and I can do it, I'll jump up and fire it up. That's why I'm going to set something up. So all I have to do is say, boom, I'm ready to go.
Perfect. I sure will, brother. I sure will.
Okay, brother. Well, brother, that's Maurice Muhammad. Thank you for being here, brother. You always are the best. What I'm going to do, because I wasn't going to special effect today, but I got to give you a clap, brother, because you've been gracious today.
Thank you, beloved. Thank you.
Okay, everybody, I want to tell everybody that's out there who took the call to come over here and to engage and to be a part of this. I want to thank you all out there, to the bottom of my heart, for showing up in big time. I know some of you are probably, like I said, disappointed that you didn't get a chance to hear Melissa speak for herself. But like the brother Maurice Muhammad said, there were some health issues. She will be back on. Who knows? It could happen tomorrow. It could happen Monday, Tuesday. It could happen going into the weekend next week. Whatever it takes, we're going to try to make it happen. And I'll be here for that. So what I'm going to do, I'll do the best I can to read and give some acknowledgement to some of the folks that are in the chat room right now. I see Brother Adubian. I see Brother Fernando Thomas. Erica Howard, thank you for being here. Lopez, thank you for being here. 7 for 7, thank you for being here. We got Ernest Clark, thank you for being here. We got Reigning Woman, thank you for being here. Let's see, Black Rose, thank you for being here. Appreciate the support. Cassandra Check, thank you for being here. Kingdom Crush, thank you for being here. We got my man Andre Topping Jr. Now, Andre Topping Jr. is a brilliant young man. He was doing a live stream today saying that he was going to be supporting. This is a young brother who was an athlete in high school, and he said he quit playing football for a variety of reasons. He said they were just using him. He more about being into his people, Brother Muhammad. This is a young man who speaks like a tiger. He's in the chat room right now. I want to give a big shout out to Brother Andre Topping Jr. because he was big time supportive in this today. We've got Eco in there. We got Old Reliable. Anybody that I don't say your names correct, I apologize. But I mean well. Let's see. We got Taylor Green, Matt D. Matt D. I send you my email, brother, so that you can contact me. We got the guy from Texas. Thank you. Little Rock, brother. That's the brother who has the name Little Rock. Thank you for the super chat. Anybody that super chatted me, thank you. But the most important thing you need to do, black people, is make sure, I'm going to put it in the chat room right now. Make sure you go in the description of this video and you go to Sister Melissa's GoFundMe and support her. I'm putting it in the chat room a few times now. But go, if that link that I put in the chat room doesn't work for some reason, because sometimes it does happen like that, go into the description of the video, of this video later, and click into it, and you'll go right to her GoFundMe. Brother Muhammad, is there anything else that people need to know about Melissa in terms of, is there any other information, a website, or anything else that they need to know that you think is important at this point in time before we end this?
Brother, just that, she's on the front for all of us. She's on the front for all of us. So Let us do everything that we can to aid her and let her know that, you know, she's not by herself. She needs our love and prayers and comfort, because we all know it's very stressful, very hard time. Okay. Yes, sir. Thank you, beloved.
Thank you. Thank you, beloved, as well. Thank you. Everybody, thank you. I will see folks around. Everybody, spread the news about our live stream today. Share this video in your social media again, but also remind people as to the circumstances of why she was not on. I'm going to probably go back into my studio and change the avatar, not the avatar, change the thumbnail video, and save the thumbnail that I was going to use. I'm going to change it to something else, because that was the thumbnail where I had at the bottom of that thumbnail that Melissa would be interviewed on the show. So I'm gonna have to go to another thumbnail that I'm going to create real quick that will reflect what we talked about today. So everybody, thank you. I'm going to read some more names. We got Mason Degree. Thank you for being here. We got Vonda Harris. Thank you for being here. A Followable One. Thank you for being here. Queen, I Know I Am. Thank you for being here. Zachary, thanks for being here. Brother Duvian again. We got the Light Bear. Thank you for being here, Light Bear, sister. I haven't seen you in a while. I'm a good brother. Don't believe what people tell you. I'm a good brother. I mean well for my people. I'm not trying to rob nobody and rip nobody off and play games with y'all. I know that there's always going to be people out there that's going to hate on you when you're trying to do good works. But all you have to do is look at how consistent have I been. Are my videos consistent? Do I tend to do material that's tearing our people down? Do I tend to bring on guests that ain't about nothing? Look at my record. Let it speak for itself. That's all I'm saying to you, Sister Light Bear. Come on and support me. I see you over there with the Radical Sister sometime, supporting her. So support. I know we have differences on YouTube. I know that we don't like certain people. I know that there's been beefs between people. I'm not going to name names. I know that there's been beef between people. I know these things are happening, and it's causing people to say, I'm on this side. We got to go into 2019 not being divided. We got to go into 2019 coming together. Somehow we got to figure a way to let go our political and social differences with each other and find common ground. We got to find a way to do this. We can't fracture ourselves, I would hope. But I know that there's a lot of stuff going on YouTube, and I just hope that people can come together better. We got Taylor Green. Thank you for being here. Penny Sparks. Thank you for being here, Penny. We got Nick. We got Nick Love. Let me do something for this sister. Nikki Love. I'm going to moderate you because I'm seeing something about you, sister, that I like. So you're doing good things, sister. We got Black Man. Hey, Black Man, thank you for being here. Anybody that's in the chat room that has never seen me before or know of me, and you have not supported me yet, and you know what I mean when I say support, go right ahead and support my channel. And you know what that means. Hit the bell for notification, and you know what else to do. If you would like to. You know, I may not be everybody's cup of tea. I understand that. But I'm doing the best I can with what I got to get information out to people. So thank you. King Hebrew, thank you for being here. Rosalind, thank you for being here. She's a big supporter of me. Let me see. Everybody out there listening in Spreaker.com on the podcasting system, excuse me. Thank you for supporting me. I got a lot of people out there in Facebook Live listening. Thank you for your support over here on this camera over here. Thank you. So with that said, I'm gonna end the stream, get some more water because my throat's bothering me. Thank you, everybody in the chat room. Penny Sparks, thank you. Lisa Moore, thank you. Thank you. Brother Ben X was going to try to be here today, but he could not make it because he had a lot of interviews. Brother Malcolm Fletch TV, check him out. Everybody, you take your black butts over to Maurice Muhammad's channel. If you have not subscribed to him, you subscribe to him. Damn it. He put this production on. You subscribe to him if you have not. Wake up and subscribe to him immediately. Oh, I shouldn't be using the word subscribe. Oh my God. Oh my God, I messed up. Support him. Support his channel. There better be some new faces over there when he goes live anytime. There should be some new faces from over here, over there. I demand it. Thank you. Brother Muhammad, thank you. Everybody out there, peace, love, and blessings. Happy New Year's. I may do a live stream on New Year's. I'm not going nowhere New Year's. I'm going to be right here at home. So I might go live to bring the New Year's in with some spiritual talk, with some talk of unity to bring us together. I may just go ahead and fire up a New Year's stream. So thank you, Brother Muhammad. Thank you, everybody. I hate to go, but we got to go. Thank you. Peace, blessings, and love to you all. Peace. All right. I love you, black people. Love y'all, love y'all, love y'all. Y'all made this happen. Y'all made this happen. Y'all came over here. You filled the chat room up with lots of numbers of people. You're supporting. I'm feeling the love in the chat room. I feel you. I feel you. I thank you. Information Man is out. And I'm going to play a few little things here before I leave. You know how I do.
There's nothing to be afraid of. Understand? Have you ever questioned? We must take this matter into our own hands.
His blessings and love. His blessings and love. His blessings and love.
Here, and my last statement to you all is have a great new year. Once again, thank you for being here and supporting and being a part of this. Most definitely.
Let us be collected. That black folks need to be codified. We've got to stop putting, not getting, but making, but